everybody, this is Sandra, and today I'm making carrot cake jam. And of course, I'm in my favorite book, the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving, on page 37. It's a recipe for carrot cake jam. Okay. So far in my pot, let me go ahead and cut it on. Anyway, so far in my pot, I have my, let me let you see it. My carrots, my pears, pineapple, including juice, lemon juice, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. So basically what you do is, I'm going to bring this up to a boil. After it reaches boil, I'm turning that to a simmer and let it simmer for 20 minutes. And after that, I will be back for the next step. Like I said, these jams and jellies, they're easy, y'all. They're easy. So, be back in a second to you, but it's going to be around 25 minutes for me. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's been 20 minutes. Actually, it's been 30 minutes. Because I don't know if it makes a difference if you shred your own carrots versus buying carrots that are already shredded. Because I bought something that I already shredded. And it doesn't seem like it was they're breaking down good enough for me. But anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. It does look a little dry, but it's really not. And plus, once you add the sugar and everything in, it's gonna, you know, whatever. So now it's time for me to add my pectin. And now, by the way, I am doubling this batch, like I do all the time, because it's supposed to make about 6-8 ounce jars. So I wanted more than 6-8 ounce jars, like I normally do. So anyway, you take the mixture off the heat, and then add your pectin in and stir it until it's till the pectin dissolves. Now, one thing about pectin, it's a strange beast, because the powder is very fine and it will easily clump up. Okay. Now I'm thinking, based on the history I've had with pectin before, maybe add a little bit and then mix it up. Because it's not on heat right now anyway. Because pectin would clump up. So by the way, I'm using Sure-Jell instead of Ball. Because I already had some. Really, I have some Ball too, but I don't think I have enough Ball pectin. But when you use Sure-Jell, if it tells you, the recipe says, like this recipe says, 6 tablespoons of Ball plastic fruit pectin, I know to use 2 of the Sure-Jell for a batch, okay? I had to learn that lesson the hard way. So, hopefully you guys benefit from my oopsies. And, you know, some people will add, will put their, when they cut their apples or pears, which this is pear, instead of, they'll go ahead and put in a solution of citric acid or lemon juice. I don't even bother with that. You know, when it depends on what I'm doing with it. Like, for instance, this recipe, I know I'm adding these spices to it. It's going to make it darker anyway. So save that doggone pectin and lemon juice. Plus, lemon juice is in the recipe anyway. But as far as when you're chopping it up. Because we all know that pears and apples will brown on you. Okay, I have one more. And after I get this mixed up, I'm going to bring it back up to a bowl. Just like we do all the other ones. All the other jams and jellies that we add pectin to. This is my 4th one. Okay. So now I'm going to bring it back up. Put it back on high. Let it come up to a boil. Once it reaches the boil, you know, get to the point where you can't stir down the boil, just like you always do. Then I'm going to let it continue to boil for 1 minute. And then I'm going to add my sugar. It smells so good. But like I said, if you like pumpkin, not pumpkin. Okay, we just did a whole month of pumpkin. I still got pumpkin on my brain. But if you like carrot cake, I'm sure you will love this. I've heard so many people rave about it. But this is my first time making carrot cake jam. So this is new to me. I do know I like carrot cake. And according to the things that goes in it, seems like it's going to be delicious. But we'll find out. I just wonder, like I told Tanya, I said, I wonder why you can't put nuts in it. Because normally, I think pecans go in carrot cake. Or is it walnuts? I forget. I think it's walnuts. Anyway, but this recipe does not call for that. And it may have something to do with what you can, what you can't can. Because so far, everything I've been looking at as far as canning, I don't recall any walnuts being in it. And I do have my pot of water over here, heating up with my jars. But it's starting to boil already. And make sure whatever utensil you use for stirring. Now sometimes I go to like General Dollar or whatever and buy spoons or whatever, but make sure you have a good spoon, good sturdy spoon. Because in the past, if you don't have good utensil doing stuff like this, a lot of times it will you'll break it. Okay. And sometimes you think these plastic utensils are good for heat. Some of them are not. Because how can you have a spatula and not be good for? I don't get it. Anyway. So it's boiling now. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Can't get tired of stirring. But anyway, guys, I'm not gonna bore you too much with this. Once I get to the rolling boil where I can't boil it down, I can't stir it down, then I'm gonna let it continue to boil for a minute, and I'll be back then. Okay, guys, I can't stir down my boil right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my sugar. You add the sugar all at once. And of course, you know, this reduced the temperature. So now I got to keep stirring until it comes back up to a rolling boil. And of course, you're dissolving your sugar at the same time. And once it reaches a rolling boil, now I said before, you know, once it reaches a rolling boil to let it continue boil for a minute, that was wrong. You just let it get to a boil. Then you add your sugar. Then let it come back up to a boil. Then you let it boil for a minute. Just keep stirring And you see how, well, I don't know. Let me see if I can get another spoon. I want you guys to see. Use this. Got to use it anyway. See how liquidy it looks? But when you use pectin, it's not going to stay that way. Not going to stay that way. I'm going to use that later anyway. But it smells so good. Ugh. But once again, I'm waiting till it get to a boil. Not going to bore you again. And when I come back, I'll probably be canning. Or if not, completed canning. Anyway, be back in a second. Hey guys, I brought y'all back for a second for two things. Number one, when I do jams, you know, aka fruit chunks or whatever in it, well, I guess three things. I've learned to go ahead and put like a tablespoon of butter or margarine in it, because if the foaming bothers you, because it does to me in this, like I said, in jams. Normally I would skim it off if I'm just doing a jelly, but when it comes to jams, when I try to skim it off, I end up losing some of my fruit. Some of the fruit get lost in the transition of me skimming off. So that's why I prefer to go ahead and use a tablespoon of butter. Another thing, the recipe does not tell you whether you use, it just says pineapple, and it doesn't tell you whether it's crushed or tidbits or whatever. Okay, so I have crushed as well as tidbits in here. So I said, well, somebody get some chunks of pineapple, whatever. I like pineapple. Another thing, remember I was just talking about nuts? Well, doggone, Sandra. Reading is fundamental and fun to the mental. See what it says? Is turn this delicious jam into a conserve by stirring in 1/4 cup of chopped pecans or walnuts immediately after completing the 1-minute boil. Stir thoroughly and remove from heat. So it already tells you can do it, okay? It'll just be a conserve rather than, I guess, jam. You know, I really got to look up and see what the definition of conserve is. I guess it has more fruits and stuff in it. But anyway, whatever. Because the nut is a fruit too. But anyway, be back in a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. After processing 10 minutes. Well, actually, I did 15 minutes because I not only did half pints, I also did a few pints. Okay, so I did a process for 15 minutes. So I got 4 pints, 4 half pints, and then some. Y'all know I always get then some. But I tasted, okay, yummy. I wanted to put some walnuts in it, but my family don't always like nuts like I do. So I didn't do that. Because you're a nut. Anyway, so whatever. So anyway, try it. It's good. It's really good. I know a lot of times we say stuff is good. Okay, if it's not good, I'm not going to tell you it's good, okay? But that's good. So if you like carrot cake, try that. Anyway, until next time, y'all. Peace out.